This weekend, the UFC main event sees Caceres France take on Amir Albazi in, I believe it's like the first non-title flyweight main event since 2017, I think it was, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. Uh, it's a good fight. It's not maybe the most, you know, show-stopping, eye-catching event ever, but I'm a big Caceres France fan, and Amir Albazi has been a really good prospect to watch coming up the ranks. The winner will definitely cement themselves in the top five. Caceres France is coming off a fight with Brandon Moreno.
Yep.
So, it's a fairly high-profile fight in terms of the flyweight division. I think the way I see it, I have one side that I'm leaning on quite strongly, but how do you see this fight playing out?
Um, you know, I think I favor Caceres France in this one. But I think what I will say, as you said, it was the first flyweight main event. So unnecessary because some flyweight fights, a lot of them are brilliant. The lower weight classes have so much more skill. They're a lot faster than these. Like, I don't want to have another, like we were talking off air about a Sean Strickland main event. To be honest, there's flyweight matchups that are certainly better than his next main event, and certainly better than a lot of the main events we've been getting in the Apex. I think it's a high level fight. It'll be fun. I think it'll be pretty entertaining. Caceres France can really bring it. Can punch hard for a 1-2-5er. So yeah, I'm excited. It's in terms of the rest of the card, it's pretty meh.
Yeah, it's taken some hits as well.
Yeah.
As what seemed to always be happening lately, like fighters dropping off Apex events, getting injured,
Yeah.
short notice replacements, which they do take the shine
Seems
off these cards
seems to be happening a lot. Like
a lot. Yeah,
week of
yeah,
every other week, every week it seems like someone's dropping out week of the fight, a few days before the fight,
yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, so well, I guess similar to you, I'm a big Caceres France fan. I definitely favor him in this fight. Albazi's a really good prospect, and I don't because I'm quite on the Caceres France side. I don't want that to like diminish Albazi's sort of what he's done so far and his place in the division. I think he's going to be a top 10 fighter for quite some time. But there is a big discrepancy in recent opposition. And that's not even necessarily Albazi's fault, because if you look down his topology, he's got cancelled fights with Brandon Royval, Alex Perez, Tim Elliott, O'Day Osborne, Julian Paiva even. A bunch of
Don't forget Paiva.
But no, but I mean, bear in mind that was in like 2020 when he was new to the UFC.
Yeah.
So that would have, for them to be considering that as his UFC debut or his second fight. Paiva's was top 15 not long ago. So unfortunately, a lot of us have fallen out. Instead, he's fought Malcolm Gordon, Zalgas Zumagulov, Francisco Figueiredo, and Alessandro Costa. None of those, apart from I guess Zumagulov, are of any note. I think Zalgas is a very good litmus test. I sort of view him as like a Neil Magny of flyweight. And he's only got one loss on his record to Jose Torres, who is a very highly touted prospect outside of the UFC. Wouldn't be surprised to see him sign to a major promotion pretty soon, currently competing for Brave. But yeah, like I say, Caceres France, I mean, he's coming off admittedly a loss to Brandon Moreno, but he was beating Moreno. Moreno, currently the flyweight champion, he was beating him. He got hit by a liver kick that just shut his body down. All credit to Moreno for landing that. But Caceres France getting the better of the champion, I mean, that really says something. Prior to that, he beat Askar Askarov, a wrestling heavy Dagestani fighter who I think was undefeated going into that fight. He was, yeah. Sensational. Knocks out Cody Garbrandt in a fight that really impressed me, not because he knocked out Cody Garbrandt, but the way in which he did it. It hurt him once, didn't just charge in. The control he had in the finishing sequence, because he floored him about 3 or 4 times, but he was patient, landed the right shots, really incredible. And before that, he knocked out Rogerio Bontorin I think that was in the Apex Arena as well. Just absolutely spark the man. Yeah, I favor Kai. He's more experienced. He's done 5 rounds before, or at least trained for 5 rounds before. Albazi is a decent striker, very basic, but like good at his basics. I think Kara France has a speed advantage, technique advantage. Albazi, decent ground game. He's got a decent double leg. But we've seen, like in the Askarov fight, Kara France can deal with high-level wrestlers. And even when put in bad situations, can survive submission attempts. I think Albazi is quite a good submission, like hunter. But yeah, I favor Kara France, especially as the fight gets later. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hurt, even knock out Albazi later on in the fight. So yeah, I'm like as you can tell, I'm quite on the Kara France side. I'm repping I haven't got a Kai Kara France t-shirt, but I've got Dan Hooker, so CKB represent. I favor him in this fight.
Yeah. Couldn't have said any better myself.
Ran over. But literally, that's the thing. Because of this card, like you say, it's not deep. So all of my focus has been on that main event. And I'm probably not going to stay out for it. I'll catch it in the morning. It's a good fight. The rest of the card, not so good.
Yeah, I'd agree. There's a couple. I was really looking to the Malarkey Kudaladze.
Yeah,
yeah. I was really looking forward to that. He's dropped out. I thought, is it someone said injury? I saw some people say visa.
I heard visa issues.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
There seemed to be
he's had so many dropouts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The Caceres fight, he's on a great run. It's good to see him get a bit of shine in the co-main against a really experienced opponent in Pineda. He's got a good high finish rate. Caceres on a fantastic run.
100% finish
rate. 100% finish rate? Yeah, that's even better. Caceres coming off an impressive knockout of Julian Erosa, and then he dropped one to Sadiq Yusuf before that, but that had a 5.
Yusuf's good as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a great fighter.
Before that, he's had a 5-fight win streak. Kind of really come into his own, and should be a good fight. Should be an entertaining scrap between a couple of veterans.
Yeah,
I think I favor Caceres in that one. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I'm not too strong on it though. I'm not. You know.
I think what Caceres' thing throughout his whole career has been is that he fights his opponent's fight.
Yeah.
And he would just try to do it better than they do. Which is very interesting when you have a guy who only gets finishes like Pineda. I imagine it's going to be a car crash. Pineda's, I think, has been finished in most of his losses as well. A couple of decision losses in there, but he's got a pretty high not going to the decision ratio regardless. So yeah, fun fight. Caceres has been here. He's been here for time, and I mean, so has Pineda, but like Caceres has been fighting high level opposition for a long time now. I mean, shit, you can go back to 2014. He's fighting Sergio Pettis.
He's been doing this a long time, and he'll want to defend his now. He's in the rankings now, and he'll want to kind of push on. So, good for him.
How did he fight Sergio Pettis? The size discrepancy must be insane between those two.
Because how tall was Pettis be?
Pettis is 5'6", and
Caceres is what, 5'11",
5'10" on Tapology. The reach 69 to 73. But I mean, what weight class is that? As Caceres is a bantamweight. That seems bizarre to me. Afro alone must weigh like.
Yeah, true.
Fair enough.
I thought he's been a featherweight for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that was 2014. I guess when he was young, he used to be like dead wiry. So maybe that was like when you're like early 20s before people are like filled out. But yeah, it's a fun enough co-main event, and I think Alex Caceres is I don't know if you call him a fan favorite, but
like, he's well received.
People know him. Yeah, they know the name. Just going through as well. Another fight that fell out, I guess we'll mention, is Jared Gordon is out of his fight with Jim Miller. He's replaced by Jesse Butler. Don't know anything about Jesse Butler. That's we'll just go on past that. Quick word on Tim Elliott versus Victor Altamirano.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a bit more relevant. I think we wouldn't be talking about it unless, obviously Tim Elliott's kind of personal situation with his former teammate and then his wife. He's quite a public incident, accusing his wife of cheating on him with his best man and teammate Kevin Kroom. So
don't forget also that Tim Elliott is or was part of Glory MMA. Which so is James Krause as well.
They should do a documentary on that. I think it'd be quite interesting.
I would definitely watch that. Yeah.
But
bear in mind, this is also a short notice fight. Elliott was meant to fight Alan Nascimento, which is a really tough fight.
Yeah.
Instead, he's fighting Altamirano. If you take away all of these caveats, I think it's a very winnable fight for Tim Elliott. I think he's much better than Altamirano. Who knows how all of this is affecting him, because I know people say like Mackenzie Dern in her last fight dealing with the divorce and custody battle with her ex-husband, maybe that, gave her that extra oomph to go out and take out her anger on Angela Hill. But the thing is with Elliott here, all of this is directly tied to his MMA career, his training, everything. I know he's completely changed up his gym. It's
like these situations are so volatile, so highly emotional. It's like it's like, yeah, Dern could have come in more motivated, but very easily she could have come in unmotivated, undertrained, and all this kind of stuff. Mine could not be on it, and at the highest level, that's ultimately it's the little things that play into it. So I hope Tim Elliott gets the job done, to be honest, because he seems like he's going through a lot in his personal liite, and then maybe if he grabs the mic, he'll say something unhinged, and we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, I've heard rumors about a bare knuckle BKB. I think Kroom currently competes for, someone like that. Imagine that would sell.
Would be insane. Yeah. And also, I just wanted to also give a quick shout out to Andrei Arlovsky, who is
was he fighting on the?
What's that?
Is he 44 now?
44. Yeah, 44 years old. He's been in the UFC since before I was born, which is mental. Literally before I was born.
Wait, really? When were you born?
That's 2001.
Well, oh my god, you're a baby.
Yeah, he's been doing this a long time, and actually, you can say, oh, he's 44. Has actually not been doing badly the past few years. He's got a fantastic record.
What is he? 4-1 in his last 5, or
and 6-2 in his last 8, and one of those losses came against Tom Aspinall. That's pretty impressive. He knows, he's like a vet. He's done this so many times. He knows how to stay out of trouble. And is a totally winnable matchup for him this weekend, which is just
I favor
insane.
Him to win. I favor him to win.
Insane.
Yeah, Dontel Mays.
He's had almost 50 UFC fights. Oh no, 40, almost 40 UFC fights. That's insane. So hopefully he gets it done, keeps the ball rolling. And honestly, the chin is still there from a little bit, what you'd expect.
It's not fantastic. The chin or it's the way he fights. Yeah. He fights very smart and
Des Daxter and Andrei Arlovsky by decision, as they say.
Yeah,
it's a lock.
I might take a little stab on that this weekend. We'll see. I think that wraps us up. It's like we say. Well, also just if you're looking for more MMA content to devour, KSW, I think 83, 82, the Coliseum event is on. Well worth a watch. The first Coliseum event was sensational. This one will be as well. A bunch of big names that I would not be surprised to see in the UFC soon. I think most notably is Saladin Parnasse. Definitely keep an eye out for that man. Cage Warriors San Diego is also on. A couple of decent fighters on there. If you live in the States, it could be one worth watching, but very late for us here in the UK. I think that's probably about it. There's no boxing. And no other real MMA events of note, I don't think. So yeah, we'll be back early next week. Break down some of these fights that will have taken place by then, and give our thoughts on any news that's coming out back then. I believe we got UFC, what is it, 289, something like that, Canada card. Our James Lynch just did an interview with Chris Curtis for us on there. Curtis is fighting Nastin Imavov. Definitely go check that out. And yeah, we out. We'll be back this week. Peace.